Hello my dear students, how are you all? I wish all are doing well to be at your home. And you are doing your study also well. So my dear students, in last video we have finished our explanation of chapter 2 Marie Curie A Radiant Life. Now I am here with the video of question answers and exercises. So first we will start our in-text question which are given on page number 33, 34, 35. Okay, so first question is in text. Which phrase describes Mary's lifestyle while she lived in Paris? So, monastic simplicity. She lives a simple life. So, this is monastic simplicity. Next question, does your idea of a feast match Mary's? So, no, our idea of a feast does not match Mary's because when Mary wanted a feast, she bought 2 eggs or a piece of chocolate with some fruits. Next question, question number 3, which is on page number 34. How did Mary balance home and work? So Mary kept house, washed her baby daughter and also kept on working in a laboratory, working towards the most important discovery of modern science. Now the next question. What did Pierre do in order to help Mary with her research? So Pierre Curie had followed the rapid progress of his wife's experiments with interest. He left his own research in order to aid with her. Next question. Why do you think the amphitheater was packed on the day Mary delivered her first lecture? So the amphitheater was packed because everybody respected Mary. She was renowned as the inventor of radium and as someone who has twice been honored with the Nobel Prize. Besides, when the Council of the Faculty of Science decided to offer Pierre's post at the Sorbonne to Mary, she became the first woman to hold a position in French higher education. Now the next question, which is on page number 37. Actually, what is here? In biographies, adjectives are often used to describe characters, traits or the personality of a character. They indicate what a character thinks, says and does. So some words are given here. We have to select for Mary. I have selected 4 words. Shy. Character traits of Marie Curie and evidence from the story we have to give. So too shy to make friends. Lived a life of monastic simplicity devoted to study alone. You can see from here. Too shy to make friends, lived a life of monastic simplicity devoted to study alone. Next is humble. She was humble. Their life together in a little flat was singularly lacking in comfort. Now the next is brilliant. So no other man or woman to date has ever received the prize for 2 different subjects. And the last one is intelligent. So I have written here, you can see I made the arrow. She invented dishes which needed little preparation or could be left to cook themselves. So this was about Marie Curie. Now reference to context question answers. So here we are having all the questions. The life together in a little flat was singularly lacking in comfort. They refused the furniture offered to them by Pierre's father. First question, why was the offer of furniture turned down? Next question, what was the only furniture in the flat? And the next question, question number C, what does this sentence reveal about Mary and Pierre? So answer I have written here. The offer of furniture was turned down because Pierre and Marie Curie wanted to be independent. Next question was, what was the only furniture in the flat? The bare quarters were furnished only with books, 2 chairs and a white wooden table. And the question number C's answer is here. What does the sentence reveal about Mary and Pierre? So they wanted to lead a simple life devoted exclusively to the study of science. Now question number 3 here. No other man or woman to date has ever received the prize for 2 different subjects. So what is the first question? Which reward is referred to in this extract and who received this reward twice? The C question, for which discovery did the person receive the reward the first time? With whom was she reward shared? So here answer is the Nobel Prize was the reward. Who received this reward twice? Marie Curie received the prize twice. And for which discovery did the person receive the reward the first time? With whom was the reward shared? On the 10th December 1903, the Academy of Science of Stockholm announced that the Nobel Prize in Physics for the current year has awarded half to Henry Becquerel, half to Monsieur and Madame Curie for their discoveries in radioactivity. Okay. Question number 4. This was the first time that a position in French higher education had been given to a woman. So first question, what is the position referred to in these lines? Which woman had been given this position for the first time? Question number B, who had held the position before it was awarded to a woman? And the question number C, what alternative had the woman turned down before she was given this position? So answer to these questions are here. What is the position referred to in these lines? The Council of the Faculty of Science. Okay. And what woman had been given this position for the first time? Here I will read full answer. The Council of the Faculty of Science decided to entrust Pierre's post at the Sorbonne to Mary. Next question, who held the position before it was awarded to a woman? So Pierre Curie. And the next question, what alternative had the woman turned down before she was given this position? So after Pierre's death, the government officially proposed to award Mary a pension. She refused. These are the answers for the reference to context questions. Now read, reflect and write. Fifth question, what was the immediate sympathy that brought Mary and Pierre together? So Mary met Pierre Curie in 1894, a French scientist of genius. Pierre, like her, was devoting body and soul to scientific research. Question number 6. What serious discussion did the Curies have when the radium industry was about to be born? What was the decision they took? Answer is here. When the Curies invented radium, they realized that radium can become the ally of human beings in the war against cancer. Radium was useful, magnificently useful. A radium industry was about to be born. They decided that, like true physicists, they would publish their research completely. If their discovery has a commercial future, that is an accident by which they choose not to profit. Now the question number 7. How did the Curies spend the money they received when they were awarded the Nobel Prize? What does this reveal about them? So answer is here. The Nobel Prize meant 70,000 gold francs. The Curies paid off loans, made donations to scientific societies, gave gifts to school children and made little modification to their house. They lived a very simple life and never yearned to live luxuriously. Everything they had was devoted to science. Now the question number 8. What is question number 8? Here, these were some of the happiest year of her life. Which year does the author refer to, and what gave Mary happiness over these years? So answer here. The happiest years refer to the years during which Marie and Pierre Curie were working on their invention of radium. Dressed in her old dust-covered and acid-stained smoke, her hair blown by the wind, surrounded by bitter smoke from her experiment, which stung her eyes and throat, Mary was a virtual factory all by herself. Now the next exercise, which is on page number 38. Polish is an adjective relating to Poland. So unscramble the letters to get the adjectives related to the countries listed below. The Netherlands. So Dutch. Wales, Welsh. Belgium, this is Belgian. United Arab Emirates, so here Emirati. Here Madagascar, so Malagasy. Okay. Zaka, this is Kazakhstan, so this is Kazakh. Iceland, here Icelandic. And here Cyprus, so this is Cypriot. Okay. Now the next thing, what we have to do. Here some words are given. Make sentences of your own with the following words. Devoted. What is the meaning of devoted? Faithful. Sympathy. Kind feelings for someone. Headed. It means a person going to be in charge. A person, if someone is getting in chargeship of anything, that is called headed. And routine, a sequence of action regularly followed. And shabby, dirty look, poor condition. So I am here sentences with these words. Devoted, Tom devoted his life to his study. Sympathy, Mr. Sharma expressed sympathy for the flood victims. Headed, here we can see, I saw Hemant headed for the house. Routine exercise is great for your health. And shabby, Gopal wore a shabby old overcoat. This exercise is over. Now here grammar time. We will learn about gerund. A gerund is a verb that functions as a noun. Gerund and are in ing, but they function as nouns, not verbs. Read these examples to see how gerund function as noun. I love books, I love reading. So I love reading is a gerund. A game is fun, playing is fun. I like this cycle, I like cycling. So here love what? Books reading. What is fun? A game playing. And like what? This cycle, cycling. So in the above sentence, the ing word reading, playing and cycling are gerunds. They function just like the nouns books, games and cycle. Notice the difference between gerund and verbs. So we will notice ing words that are gerunds, ing words that are verbs. We enjoy singing. This is gerund. We are singing. This is verb because action is going to be performed. Reading is our favorite pastime. Gerund. We were reading a story. This is verb. Eating chips is unhealthy. Gerund. He was eating chips. This is verb. And here something is written participle. A participle is a verb formed from a verb. The ing form of the verb is called a present participle. Present participles or ing verbs look like gerunds, but they use a helping verb, while gerunds do not. A word formed from a verb which ends in ed, en and so on is called the past participle. So here we use gerunds after certain verbs as avoid, enjoy, carry on, imagine. I enjoy dancing. Keep on, miss, feel like, stop. After prepositions, wash your hands before eating. So here preposition is there before, and after that we are using. As the subject of or object of a sentence, swimming is a good exercise. So here it is in the form of subject. So now what we have to do? Use gerunds in ing words to write about things you enjoy and do not enjoy. So here I have tried to write. I hope it is visible to you. I enjoy reading books, swimming, SWIMMING. I enjoy playing with friends. I enjoy eating chocolates. I enjoy cycling near the lake. Then I enjoy writing letters. Here I dislike. What I dislike? I dislike eating junk food. I dislike talking loudly. I dislike walking in sun. I dislike going back to school after summer vacations. I dislike boarding crowded buses. I dislike eating bitter gourd. Okay. Now the next exercise, which is on page number 40, same as what we have to do. Use the given gerunds in sentence of your own. Remember to use the words as gerunds, not verbs. So here are 8 words. So on next page I gave the sentences. Writing letters is my hobby. Leaving a blind man to cross the road on his own is dangerous. Here I have written. Working on the computer without a break is bad for the eyes. Going. I love going to hill stations. Meeting new people is such an exciting experience. Eating breakfast is very important to maintain good health. Falling down is the first step to being successful. Washing your hands frequently helps to keep the germs away. So here maybe numbers are wrong, ABCD is wrong, then you can read the words. They will help you that this for which word this sentence is made. Okay. Now here next exercise, rewrite the following sentences using gerunds. Use the prompts given in brackets. One has been done for you. So here first we will read what is given in the box. An infinitive is to, the base verb. Both gerunds and infinitives acts like nouns in a sentence. For example, I like reading. Here reading is in the form of gerund as a noun. I like to read. Here infinitive as noun. So outside are not allowed to trespass on the school ground. So trespassing by outsiders is not allowed on the school ground. Next, to praise everybody is to praise nobody. It means praising everybody is praising nobody. Now the next one, my favorite pastime is to read books. So space was not there, that's why I have written here. Reading books is my favorite pastime. Next is E part. If you watch television all day long, you will harm your eyes. Then here I made, you can see, watching television all day long will harm your eyes. So this exercise is over. One is remaining. After this, one more exercise. Look here. Phonetic symbols. Dictionaries use phonetic symbols to indicate the pronunciation of a word. The phonetic symbols are explained in the tables given on the opening pages of a dictionary. Using the tables, write the words against their phonetic spelling given here. All the words are from the passage you have just read. So here it is school, then prize, then laboratory. Next is cook, here lamp, physics, income and chocolate. Okay. Now the next page, here what we have to do. A biography is an account of someone's life written by someone else. Write a biography easy on a well-known a person that you admire. Before you start writing, keep the following points in mind. Plan it. First thing is this, to plan it. So what you will do, you will take a rough paper on which you will write down all the thoughts which you are having in your mind. Do some research on the life of the famous person you have chosen. Gather interesting lesser known details of her or his life. Write it. Use the graphic organizer given below to organize the matter. Sum up by saying how his life story inspire you. Name of the person, year of birth, year of death, early life, achievements that have made the person famous, character traits that inspire, and fun facts if any. And then conclusion. And conclusion always should be related to all the options. Conclude means everything is whatever you have written related to that, it should be in short. Okay, so now the next and last exercise, listen and speak well. It is not, we can say that most important, because still we are not having any thing for listening, but yet I will try to solve this. Listen to the audio, then put a tick against the sentence that are true and a cross against those that are false. So here I am going to use the pen. First is, more than the telephone, his other invention made Alexander Graham Bell famous. So this is wrong. Okay, this one is wrong. Second, a telephone transmits over a distance using wires. Yes, this is right. Next, Alexander Graham Bell was motivated to study sound as his mother and his wife were deaf. Right. Alexander Graham Bell's father thought that grammar rules were useless. Wrong. Alexander Graham Bell was a teacher as well as an inventor. Right. Okay. Now the next page. Here 3 are given, so again I have to take the pen. Thomas Watson assisted Alexander Graham Bell in inventing the telephone. Right. Thomas Watson said the first word ever spoken over the telephone. This one is wrong. Alexander Graham Bell made sure he had a telephone in his study while he was working. That is also wrong. So this was all about the chapter. Now everything is over. Question, answer, exercises, and your syllabus is also over. So thank you my dear students. Stay at home, stay safe, but keep in touch of your study. All the best for your exams. Thank you.